It's not easy, but we're counting on you to keep us all safe. Thank you, servers, for doing the tough job.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to In Your Business. I'm your host, Marissa Lynn. The economy has been hard hit by COVID-19, and none more so than small businesses. Today, we have two guests here today from the region of Whitby to discuss how businesses are managing in these complex times. I would like to welcome to the show Dennis Downey, the Chief Financial Officer of Bryson Insurance, and Benito Supa, the co-owner of Durham Escape Rooms. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today.
Thank you, Marissa.
Thank you.
I'd just like to start. It's now been just over 2 months since the provincial shutdown, and I'd like to start with asking how your teams have managed since finding out that businesses were to shut down. Maybe we can start with Dennis.
Sure. It was an interesting transition for us. Prior to the mandate, we'd started looking into, is it safe to have our staff here? How are we going to protect them and everything? And started preparing to send them home, and sent some home that had underlying issues or people at home that had issues, and did our best to get them working from home. There were technological challenges. Thankfully, we were able to get everyone up within short order. Within about a week of closing down our office, we were able to get everyone up and working from home. And it's been a roller coaster for people. It's interesting. We do regular check-ins with our staff, and people are, dealing with it in so many different ways. And some people are, sorry, my dog's just decided to take a drink right next to me, and I don't know if you can hear that. They've been struggling in. It's funny because you don't have the structure to your day, even though you do get up. There's not the going to work. There's not the camaraderie. So people have been dealing with it in different ways, and we've been talking to them, and some people love it, and some people just can't wait to get back to the office.
So your business, Dennis, Bryson Insurance, it was deemed an essential business. So you still have about, is it 40 plus employees still working from home?
Yes, we've been deemed essential. We have, I think, 41 employees right now that are, we have 3 that have chosen to go into the office, and they're in very distinct, separate spaces in the office, so much so that they're using separate entrances to the building, and everyone else is working from home.
Okay. And Benito, how has your business been affected by the news of the shutdown?
So we're classified under an interior recreation. So we were in the first wave of closures. So March 16th, when the provincial government designated that all interior recreation closes, when we essentially closed our doors, which was right in the middle of one of our busiest weeks of the year. So March break is traditionally a very busy week for us. So we had to lay off all of our staff except one. We chose to keep our HR manager on board so that she could assist staff with applying for programs, or if they had any questions, moving forward, as well as helping myself in the business to ensure that with the programming and stuff that we're remaining compliant. So at the time of the shutdown, we didn't have a way to have people work from home. We still really don't have a way to have people telecommute to our business, because our physical space is it's a game, and it requires people to be in the physical space in order to participate. So our doors were closed on March 16th. All the staff save one were unfortunately laid off. But like Dennis, we're in constant communication with them. I do weekly check-ins with them. The HR manager here also does weekly check-ins with them just to make sure that everyone's okay. We're trying to, reassure them that their positions are safe for when this is all over. But it's been a challenge. We haven't been able to operate under the same capacity as we used to.
And Benito, you're still paying for the building. You're still renting the building.
Yes, we still have our monthly rent.
Okay. And how have you guys adjusted to? Sorry, Dennis, you were mentioning that you have your 41 employees working from home. So there's been a number of technological adaptions that you guys have had to make since finding out about the shutdown, and that happened pretty much at a breakneck speed. So can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. We'd always had some people who worked from home. We had the ability for about 10 people to log into our system remotely, but there was no way our system was set up to handle 41 people logging in remotely. And we had to work with our technology company to change the entire way that our system is logged into. They moved very quickly. They helped us. And our staff had to adapt to new ways of doing things. Initially getting calls forwarded to their cell phones, now working up to a new VoIP system. But the technology was, and then another one was really figuring out how we can protect our network and our data with people working from home on their home, potentially unsecured computers. And, it was a lot of challenges that have taken some time, but we've finally gotten there.
And how are you managing the security issues of working from home?
Well, the way we've got our network set up, people log in remotely to their desktop in the office. So there is a hard divide between whatever they might have on their home computer to what they're logging into online. We looked at different options and ways that might even be quicker for them to be able to access things directly from their home computer, but that just really wasn't an option. With the security, the privacy of our clients' data and stuff, it wasn't a risk we were willing to take. So we had to set up a way where basically they're seeing a web image of their desktop computer in the office, and we're managing to continue to keep that secure because our clients' data is one of our biggest and most important assets, and one thing that we really need to ensure is secure, and we just won't take risks with that.
That must be a concern for many businesses, is the cybersecurity at the moment. And a new product that you guys are now offering is cybersecurity. Is that correct? Sorry, cyber insurance?
Yes, we do offer cyber insurance. We have a couple of brokers who specialize in this, have really drilled down to try and figure out all the different products. It's interesting because products like your car insurance is a mature product. When you get car insurance, they're kind of a lot the same. There are differences and nuances, but with cyber insurance, they're so varied and so different that you really need an advisor that knows what that product is dealing with, because the buzz term, cyber insurance just isn't cyber insurance. There's so many different variables on what they cover and how they operate. And, some cover social engineering, which is people faking an email and saying, hey, change our wire directions and send our money here. That's been a big one with everyone else working from home, is people we used to send checks to have sent us emails saying, hey, can you just wire it to my bank account? And we have to phone them to make sure that that is in fact their bank account, and that someone hasn't just hacked their email and set up a bank account. That's very common in the cyber hacking situations these days. And I think phishing scams like that have gone up 600% since COVID started. It's unfortunate that people are really picking this time to pick on people who might not be that technical savvy or have the security ratcheted up that way. But it's a real issue today in this day and age. And actually, it's funny, just yesterday we ran a webinar for our clients and anyone else who wanted to attend on securing your home environment that dug into a lot of these issues. It's now available on our YouTube channel, or you can reach out and we can share that with you. But we reached out to a local security expert who just shared with, the topic of protecting your environment when your staff's working at home is something that a lot of people hadn't really considered until this happened.
Okay. So for anyone who's interested, they can check out your webinars on your Facebook group and your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Okay. We just have a few more minutes, and I wanted to ask Benito about the products that he, or the games that you have had online since the shutdown. So can you tell us about your what you've been doing with social media and how you're getting people involved with the games?
Yeah, Marissa, thanks. So we immediately needed to pivot because we knew that with our doors being closed and still in a busy period for us, that we needed to do something immediately. So the first thing we did as soon as the shutdown was ordered was we started a free board game delivery service to anywhere in Durham Region. So we always carried escape game related board games from different distributors and manufacturers. And so immediately we offered free board game delivery because we knew that people were going to be at home and weren't able to do much. And so we wanted to offer that option. As soon as we launched that, which took off fairly well, we then also pivoted and created online puzzle hunts or escape games. So we created three. One is searching for a Mayan treasure. The other one is about trying to stop a time-traveling thief who's trying to control the weather. And then we decided to create a kids-only game, and that one's called Quest for the Last Dragon's Egg. So that storyline is self-explanatory. So then we created these online games, and we made them at a lower price point so that families whom may have lost their jobs but are still looking for fun things to do have an opportunity to still take advantage of our games, but for a lower price point. And we thought it was really, really important to do stuff like that because it's not only the business owners that are being affected, everyone's being affected, and it trickles all the way down. So when we built these games, we decided to make them more cost effective. And then we decided to do a contest as well. So we're participating in all kinds of initiatives to help the community out, which I think is really important. So for some people may not know, but we started using our 3D printer to print up the headbands, the chin guards for masks for frontline workers. And then we started thinking, what else could we do to entertain people, but at the same time, give something back and do something fun. So we started a TikTok contest. So you have to follow us on TikTok in order to do it, where we post videos of where we're hiding things around Durham Region. And if you find these specific items, there is a prize that is also attached to that specific item. And so we thought it was a really, really great way to get people out there in the groups that they're with, like in the confines of their own home, to go out and do something fun, but at the same time give something away. Because
to take a break. Sorry, Benito.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no worries.
You there. So we are out of time for our first segment, and we will continue to talk about the pivots that our businesses are taking in the Durham region. So stay with us, and there's more to come in your business after the break.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hi, I'm Marjorie Mason, and I love to garden and to share gardening advice with other folks who'd like to learn more about gardening. And I invite you to join Jeff and I each week as we take you through the garden season in our own garden. If you have questions that are worrying you and you'd like advice, please feel free to send them to the website, and we'll answer them on Let's Get Growing only on Rogers TV.
You're invited to join us on the couch, first Tuesday of the month for the 5th anniversary season of your loved local LGBTQ talk show.
Welcome back to In Your Business. Our guests this week are Dennis Downey, Chief Financial Officer of Bryson Insurance, and Benito Supa, the co-owner of Durham Escape Rooms. Dennis and Benito, before the break, we were talking about how your businesses have been adapting to the challenges of COVID-19. So Benito, you were mentioning some of the changes that you've had to make.
Yeah, so I was just finishing off the thought where we were deciding to give back to people, and so we decided to start an online contest where we hid specific items around Durham Region, and each item was attached to a prize, and then we were posting on TikTok videos of where those hidden items were, like a general area, and then people had to go and find them. So that was just the ending of that previous thought. So it's been a lot of fun. It's gotten some great reception so far, so we're going to continue with it.
Great. And I've seen on your Facebook group that a lot of the kids are enjoying those games and they're staying entertained. Have you seen a big increase in board game sales since everyone is at home looking for entertainment?
Yeah, so like I said, the board game sales started off fairly well, and it goes through peaks and valleys. So it tapers off, and then it picks back up again, and so the kids are enjoying the games, which is really, really neat. We decided we had never carried kids games before in terms of like the physical board games, but we decided to bring in 3 titles that were kid-related games. So one to focus on spelling, one to focus on colors, and another one to focus on math. So we decided to bring in 3 kids games as well. There's a lot of parents who are having I don't want to say difficulty, but challenges keeping their kids entertained, and there's so many things, once they do. I have a 4-year-old, so there are times where I have challenges keeping my kid entertained as well. There's only so many things we can do in the house, so we decided to offer some kid related things as well. So yeah, so far the response has been good. I do wish I could get back to regular business though.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, as we look towards the economy reopening, what are some precautions and some steps that both companies are looking at as they plan?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, we surveyed our staff last week, asking what they'd like to do. Would they like to continue working at home? Would they like to split time between the office and home? Would they like to come back to the office full time? Without a timeline currently at this point, because obviously we don't have a timeline, and it's nothing we'd jump the gun on. But it was interesting. A number of staff think that they're more productive at home and would like to continue there. A large segment of the staff would like to break up time between the office and working from home. So we're looking at preparing for how that would work on a go-forward basis, as well as looking at all the physical things, looking at cleaning setups, looking at physical distancing in the office, looking at potentially even changing some surfaces so they're less contaminated surfaces, looking at how we deal with the public when they come into our office. There's so many things that we're looking at in those ways.
Dennis, have you found that your employees are enjoying working from home, or are they finding it challenging?
Like I said, it's been split. It's interesting. Some people are, I've never been more productive. I'm so happy working here at home. And some are like, I can't wait to see my friends at the office, and I really just can't wait to get back to the office. And, some people have kids at home that may interrupt their work environment and their flow and all that. So it's really, there is no one answer to it. Everyone's got a different answer.
Okay. And Benito, what are some precautions that you are putting in place before your business opens up again?
Yeah, so before our business was closed, we actually created a new sanitation and cleaning regiment, and we actually changed the way our game masters would introduce games and the way that we would um, I guess, coordinate the guests when they came in to play games. And a lot of that was in line with what, the grocery stores and the businesses that are open right now are doing. So instead of introducing games to people while they're standing in our lobby, we would take them directly into the experience and have the game masters stay on the opposite side of the game to introduce the games to them. That way there's not people congregating in the lobby. And we also amplified our cleaning. So we're going to continue to do a lot of those things. We're going to space out the games. So our facility can hold 70 guests at one time. So we're probably going to open an hour earlier. I just have to make sure that the logistics of that can work with 10 games that we have here. We're probably going to open an hour earlier and space the games out more to allow for more staggering game starts, as well as to give the game masters the opportunity and myself sanitize the games more thoroughly. Even though we were already doing it, but we're going to amplify those steps. We're also we've gotten quotes for plexiglass shields for both of our reception areas, so we're probably going to implement both of those. We're going to look at getting PPE for the game masters as well, and we were offering hand sanitizer and gloves to all the guests when they were coming in before we shut down. So we'll probably continue to do that as well going forward. And then lastly, we used to operate on a hybrid system of public bookings and private bookings. And what that means is there was always a chance that you could play a game with another set of strangers if they both booked into the same game at the same time, but they also had the choice of booking the game private. So if you only wanted to play with your friends and family, you could. So I think going forward, we're just going to move completely to the private system. We already won't be able to control if 4 people from 4 different households show up to our front door and come in to play a game together. We already won't be able to control that. So the best way that we can control that is to eliminate the opportunity for the public gameplay and just make every game private. Those are the steps that we're taking. We're probably going to release our back to work plan publicly on our social media channels, so it's transparent, everyone can see it, and then everyone knows what to expect.
Are there any adjustments that your businesses have made that you think you will continue to keep in place after the economy opens again? Either Benito or Dennis can step in.
Yeah, I think I think the world and the way business is being done has drastically changed, and I think just by the general evolution of things, there's going to be things that we adopt now that will just become part of, as they say, the new normal. I don't know if there's any one specific thing we'll do that will continue on. I mean, the plexiglass shields for the reception desks at the onset is probably something that we won't continue with, a year or 2 years down the line, depending on if there's second or third waves or if any of this stuff continues to happen. But we have to wait and see. I don't know how the spacing out of the games and opening an extra hour every day, how that's going to play out. I wish I had the crystal ball and the answer to all those things, but I don't. So it's kind of going to be a wait and see for us. I mean, amplifying the cleaning and the sanitation regimen is always good. I mean, we always cleaned our games beforehand, but to amplify that can only make things, cleaner and more sanitary and safer for guests and our staff. That's probably something that will continue is the amplification of those things. But the other stuff, it's really hard to say if we're going to continue with it after, COVID slides a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say for us, a couple things. One is video meetings. I think it's funny, I've talked to other people in other companies that are continuing with video meetings, even in the United States where they're back to work. They say it's easier to sit here where I have my stuff on my screens and we can have a little video meeting, other than even just walking to the boardroom if we're in the same building. A lot of people are continuing with the video meetings, and I think we will. I think our work from home options will be far more broad. I think some people have really enjoyed the opportunity to work from home and it's working well for them. And so that's something that will likely continue.
Wonderful. Okay. So we just have a few more minutes and I want to commend both companies for your resilience during this time. And even though both of your businesses have been hard hit at this time, both companies continue to give back through community initiatives. And I just like to talk about that, about how both companies are doing that. So Dennis, could you share with us how you guys are giving back?
Yep, I'd mentioned earlier that we did a webinar yesterday for how to protect your online environment in a work from home situation. We've partnered with some other companies here. Baker Tilly is an accounting firm here, led a webinar for us to talk about the government programs. That was a month ago when everything was changing every day and no one knew what government programs were about. So it was great to get someone who could explain them and answer questions, because that was one of the big things is you'd read a news snippet, but you had questions. So to be able to answer questions. We did another one with Baker Tilly about cash flow management in a pandemic time when there's so much uncertainty. And it was great in helping teach business owners about cash flow issues. You know, cash flow is always important, but especially in times where you might not have it coming in, it's increasingly important. We've participated in some programs to buy meals for frontline workers. We participated in someone else's program and donated to that and bought a number of meals. I think we have a program coming up where we're going to be buying 500 meals for frontline workers. So it's, you know, just trying to continue giving back and helping the community. We're all here and everyone's in tough times. So we're trying to do what we can.
And Benito, you have your 3D printer there. Can you tell us a little bit about that before we go?
Yep. So we use the 3D printer to, I think we talked about it a little bit earlier, but we use the 3D printer to print up parts for the face shields for frontline workers. We belong to a Facebook group of, I think there's like 200 people using their 3D printers to print up supplies for PPE. We're also doing the giveaways and stuff like that as well. And we're a part of the Caremongers group, the Durham Region Caremongers group. And so we're going to be doing some more stuff there as well, probably giving away some meals also, just like Dennis. I think it's really important to help out the people that just aren't able to, to fulfill their financial obligations and stuff right now. We're in a position where we're still okay. Things are tight, of course. But if we can't help other people, even when things are tight, I mean, that breaks away from our mission. Our company mission has always been to assist people in the community and participate any way we can. So we're going to continue to do that.
Okay. Excuse me. Thanks. Sorry. Thanks, Dennis and Benito, for joining us today. And thank you for watching. Tune in next week as we journey with other business owners to find out how they are navigating these challenging and complex times. Until next time, I'm Marissa Lynn.